What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Dummy Talk. Give a round of applause for yourself. This is how Tony Robbins claps. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. He has this weird ass clap. It's so strange. But yo, if you're a subscriber, welcome. You're officially a dummy. Yes, that's what I'm calling everyone out there. All my subscribers, you guys are dummies. I'm a dummy. Let's embrace that term, all right? Let's embrace it. Why not? But yeah, so you're in Dummy Talk. We're gonna cover the market here in a few minutes. But first of all, I say thank you to everyone who donated to the GoFundMe that was created by one of my family members. As some of you know, I had a family member that passed away a couple weeks ago. This one was really, really hard. No parent should have to bury their child. So thank you for everybody who donated to the GoFundMe. I really appreciate it. Today we're gonna play a game as well, so make sure you have a pen and paper with you so you can take some notes, because this will be fun for this up and coming week. All right, so without further ado, let's get straight into it real quick. Let me transition over to my Google Chrome. All right, the SPY, the S&P 500, the SPY. Everyone uses the SPY to trade. SPX and SPY is everyone's favorite to trade if you're in the option game. Obviously, this week it was a hell of a roller coaster. I mean, we went as low as 374 and as high as 375. I know it says open and high right there is significantly different. That's not accurate, because on Tuesday we went as high as 375.14 and we went as low as 364. This is crazy because on Monday it was like we had this bullish sentiment. The market went up, then it kind of stayed flat for the rest of Monday all the way until close, and then the market literally gapped up at 9:30. We were up close to 375. It was insane. Then sold off once again, went up, sold off. I mean, it's literally just playing with your emotions. But the big one was on Thursday by 11 a.m. the market completely sold off and went all the way back down to 364. And then on Friday we went parabolic and it's a straight shot up. I mean, as smooth as possible, all the way back up to 374, closing at 374.29 on Friday. And now imagine if you're a trader in this type of environment, it's hard. Like, you cannot hold anything overnight. Literally, you cannot. All right, you have to take profit. And in fact, I started a brand new account on Webull. I'm not used to Webull. I downloaded Webull. I put $400 in there, and I'm going to start trading in that account. And I'm going to try to grow that account with y'all. I'm going to share my results and everything. But I can tell you this, I only traded on Friday, and I made measly $20. But hey, profit is profit. Don't knock the game, all right? $20 is not a big deal, but it is, because I plan on compounding that every single week. But I only traded one day, made $20. Honestly, it was just, I didn't understand the platform, so I have to get used to it. Anyways, so we're probably wondering, like, what's going on? Are we now reversed, going to the upside? What's the plan? Or are we going to dump again? Well, there's an article that came out on Bloomberg I want to share with you all real fast, which I found very interesting, a little clickbaitish. It says, after 13 trillion stock crash, signs of a turn are now mounting. Says key points here: bullish bets on the up with inflation and Fed hikes priced in. Demand for bearish options look muted, all things considered. Now, this article is a little deceiving because it's giving you two different perspectives from two different analysts. Obviously, here is I also give you a little bit of data, but here's an analyst named Gary Bradshaw. He's a portfolio manager at Hodges Capital, and I want to read you this paragraph here real quick. It says, when there is so much skepticism out there, maybe things aren't actually as bad, said Gary Bradshaw, a portfolio manager at Hodges Capital Management in Dallas, Texas. We're awfully close to having all the headwinds priced in. The narrative is getting repetitive and traders are slowly getting fed up. So his whole argument is, according to some of these signs, that's showing that the puts are coming off, which in fact it really is. But that's not to say that all traders are bullish, right? He does emphasize on here, the WIX is still hovering near 30, reflecting expectations that the equity prices will swing around more than normal in these uncertain times. And again, yet historic inflation and scary outlook for interest rates, it could be much higher. So his argument is that the WIX could possibly be a lot higher if people are really as fearful as they say it is, especially with everything that's going on right now. And then he has this strong updates using this chart right here showing that September, October, we've had a pretty powerful upswing versus the downswing compared to all the rest of the months. But here's another analyst that has a different opinion here, and this is where I align to a little bit more, and it's right here. Let's read that real quick. It says a lot of people that are trading this market are still using the buy the dip playbook, he said in a phone interview. It worked before, but this is the first time in 40 years when inflation is a significant problem and things are different. That all the same, a full-scale economic recession threatens to land next year, and the Fed looks powerless to deliver a dovish offset like in the previous downturns. That's why Chris Saccarelli, I hope I say his name right, Chief Investment Officer at Independent Advisor Alliance, urges caution. That's more where I align at. I literally align more to being cautious during this time, because we have to be careful. And that's the reason why, if you guys are not subscribed to Money Market Truce yet, make sure you go over there and you subscribe, because this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, me and Mo, which is my co-host, we're gonna sit down with my buddy Mark Monroe. He runs the Come Up series. He seems to be very optimistic about the market, which is complete opposite of how I feel and what I think. And I'm pretty sure it may turn into a debate on that episode. So make sure you tune in, because it's going to be live. You're more than welcome to answer some or ask some questions, and we'll probably answer them as well. So just look out for that, Money Market Truth. Make sure you go ahead and sign up for that. But I'm still not seeing that this market is completely reversed to the upside yet. Now, we do have some key earnings coming up this week, which I'm going to cover right now here in a second. I am looking forward to this earnings, but as a trader, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, which is absolutely nothing. So I don't really trade individual stocks anymore. I got away from that months ago. I'm just focused on SPY and SPY only. Occasionally the SPX, but SPY only. Now, if you're a person who likes to trade various different stocks, I would say be careful this week, because it's earnings. You never know what could happen. Look at Netflix. I literally thought Netflix was going to tank, and it did the complete opposite. So you never know. It's really like kind of somewhat gambling. So I would be extremely cautious if you decide that you want to go out there and start trading during this week's earnings, because we got some heavy hitters there. I'm just talking about for people who just know how to do this naked puts and calls. Be dangerous. Be very careful, because that's just a directional bet. It's a directional bet. That's all it is. All right. So you are really gambling at that point. So now we're going to cover the earnings really quick. This is the part where I want you to grab your pen and paper, or pencil and paper, and we're going to go over the earnings. And what we're going to do, we're going to play a game here. All right. I'm going to give you my thoughts whether or not I think these companies are going to either beat or miss. And then we're going to revisit it next week on Dummy Talk and see how well I did, okay? Because again, I'm not going to be trading this week on any individual stocks. I may trade the SPY, but it all depends on what I'm seeing. I need a clear direction. I don't like roller coasters. I don't like those, because those are the times when you literally can just get chopped up. So be very careful. And it's okay if you're a trader, especially if you're brand new, and if you belong to like any of these groups. Just because a group trades every single day doesn't mean you have to. So it's okay to sit on the sidelines and just wait until the volatility is somewhat lower. All right, so I'm going to show you my screen here on my iPad. All right, here is Earnings Whisper. If you are not following them on Instagram, you probably should, or on Twitter, you should definitely follow them and subscribe to them, because they always drop this on a weekly basis. And this week, we got some heavy hitters that are going to be presenting their earnings, like Google, Microsoft, Visa, Enphase, Ford, Amazon, McDonald's, Chevron, and so on. So let's start off with Monday. Monday, we have Philips, Logitech. Those are the big names. Discover. None of these I really know much about, so I'm not going to guess on any of these, because I have zero interest on Monday. Monday, I'm not too worried about. But Tuesday, UPS. Let's start with UPS. I think UPS is definitely going to miss. So the X means miss. Circle is going to mean beat. All right. We got GM. I think GM's going to, again, miss. I think Coca-Cola is going to hit. Halliburton, I think, is going to hit. GE, I think, is going to miss. Valero, I think, is going to hit. 3M, I think, is going to miss. JetBlue, I'm a little nervous about this one, because I actually have 100 shares in this, and I've been doing cover calls on it. I'm up on my cover calls. I bought pretty low. But it's a travel sector, and with gas and everything else, I know they've been having some difficulties. I would say I think that they will miss. Raytheon, I think they will hit. Microsoft, I think they will beat. I think Alphabet will beat. I think Enphase will beat. I think Visa will beat. I think Chipotle will beat. I think Spotify will miss. Texas Instruments, I don't know much about that, so I'm really just really guessing. I would say probably miss. Skechers don't care. Boeing F5 don't care about that. All right, Wednesday, we got Boeing. I think they will miss. Waste Management, I think they will beat. Don't know what these other ones are. Kraft Heinz, I don't know really much about them. I think Hilton will beat. I think Hess, no idea what Hess is. Thermo for General Dynamics. This is an interesting one. I actually think they will beat. Harley Davidson, not sure. Wingstop, I think they will miss. I've heard I don't know how relevant it still is, but I heard there was some issues with chickens and stuff like that. So they may have had a shortage at some point, which would have probably messed with their revenue because they also had to increase prices. So I think that one will miss. Meta, honestly, this one is a little scary because we saw Snap. We saw what happened with Snap. Snap completely collapsed. And that's kind of somewhat of an indicator on how Meta's going to perform. But Meta's also been investing a lot of money in the metaverse, so it's been spending a lot of cash, and that's what initially brought that stock all the way down. But it's so low at this point, and I think the expectation is somewhat low. So I'm going to go to a wild one here. I definitely think their ad revenue probably went down, but I think they probably possibly made some money off of some of the metaverse stuff, like the hardware with Oculus. So I'm going to go with beat. Ford, I think is going to miss. Teladoc, miss. ServiceNow, don't know much about that one. I feel like I did at one point. I probably traded at one point, but I don't remember. I think O'Reilly Auto Parts is going to beat. All right, next, Thursday, Shopify is going to miss. McDonald's, I think, is going to... I think they're going to beat, to be honest. Caterpillar, I think, is going to beat. Southwest Airline, I think, is going to miss. MasterCard. So, Matt, this is going to be interesting. I think it's going to beat, but I may change my mind. If Visa on Tuesday misses, MasterCard is going to miss. Because they're almost like hand in hand. They're so similar. I would honestly say that, yeah, if for some reason Visa misses, then I would change my mind on MasterCard, and I will say that MasterCard will miss. But as of right now, I think it's going to beat. Don't care about the other ones. Apple, everyone. You know what's funny? I on Money Market Truth, me and Mo played the same game, and I'm a Tesla bear, but I said that this earnings that they were gonna beat, and because every other earnings I'm like they're gonna miss, and they always beat. So then finally I was like, you know what? It's going to beat, and it actually missed. So same thing with Apple. Apple is usually solid, but with all the information that's coming out, I know they had some issues with the sales of the iPhone 14, but then they revised and said they're doing good. So honestly, I'm just gonna go with beat. Amazon, I think, is gonna beat. Intel this time around, honestly, I think is going to beat. They did so poorly last earnings that I literally got out of the stocks, but I think the expectation, their revenue, everything they're going for, I think they may actually beat this time around. And looking how the other semiconductors performed last earnings, like last week's earnings, I think this one may surprise people and it will beat. Pinterest, I think, will definitely miss. T-Mobile, I like T-Mobile beat. That's all I know from there. Friday, ExxonMobil, I think, will beat. Chevron beat. Next Era Energy, I'm not familiar with that one, so I can't talk on it. That's pretty much it. So keep your paperwork handy. That way we'll review it next week and see how you did. Also, why not? In the comments below, definitely write down, let me know what you think on these earnings, and let's see how on point we are. But this is going to be a crucial week, especially from Microsoft, Apple, and Meta. Those are the big boys, FANG and everything. So I think they will really kind of give you a direction of where the market is going to go here in the next week or so. Will it be able to sustain a bullish run if these earnings are performed pretty well? I don't know, because I still think that we have a lot of headwinds and that we will have, this currently is just a relief rally. And then afterwards, I think we're going to end up going back down even further possibly. So we'll see. Or I could have just completely missed out and we're already on the upside. And who knows? But I'd rather be safe than sorry. I honestly still think with everything that's going on, elections coming up as well. Still got some stuff going on with Ukraine. We still got stuff going on with China. Our economy is completely shit right now. So I'm just saying, I still think we have some ways to go down. So we'll see. maybe I'm just a pessimist. But until next time, y'all, peace out and have a wonderful weekend and a happy Monday. And be safe out there if you're trading. And I will give you guys an update on how I did this week if I end up trading, because I may just sit on the sidelines with these type of earnings. Peace out.